Just before we do start, because I rewatched and I have a feeling that everyone was really off put by the contents of the books last session. So I just want to say if anything is making anyone uncomfortable, just send me a WhatsApp message privately and we can redirect. So
I would appreciate if you make it less comfortable.
less comfortable, okay. But actually though, if it's going too far, just let me know.
I want to know more about Elle's fanfic. I feel like there's potential to be uncomfortable in
That's
those.
true.
She's
It's
a
a YA novel.
well, she is an adult now.
A young adult. Did you know that there's a difference between young adult fiction and new adult fiction?
What is
Fun
new
fact.
adult?
Not.
It's the much smuttier stuff compared to YA.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
because you are 18 now.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Technically, YA runs from 12 to 17, so then NA, I guess, gets
Are you
juicy. I don't know.
Gets juicy.
No.
All right, on that note, what happened last time?
We got juicy.
We're in an escape room.
Pretty much, yeah.
Murder house / escape room. One or the other. Maybe both.
Aurora brought her brother back. Wow, that was really Aurora brought her brother back.
A lot of R's.
Yep. Um, Basil was trapped, and the group spent quite a lot of time trying to figure out where he was before eventually learning that they had spells to find him.
Oh yeah, that was really funny.
And that used said spells.
Or won't be getting the deposit back.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, that was very funny. Listening to you guys try and figure it out. That was really good.
Eventually, so we determined, even though the person never said specifically who they were, we determined that the mysterious Corvum is most likely Evie.
I don't know if I agree, but it's a Zogma. It's
Yes,
for sure a Zogma.
and he said, well,
Dad.
yes, right. So it's some relation there. And then eventually, so the group eventually finds me.
Mm-hmm.
Sir Basil is just like so distraught about, just like, I can't believe I dragged you guys into this.
Mm-hmm.
We're stuck in this house. We find a letter from is it from Pip? Yes,
I
right?
found a painting that looks like it was done
And
by.
also a letter.
I don't think the letter was from her. It says, "Welcome all of you to your home. Let's start the clock. Burn your
TikTok.
history, TikTok."
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Pip wrote that.
Okay.
I think the Zogma guy.
Or Jigsaw. We're not quite sure.
Yeah. But we found all our books. Some of them were very revealing, or just like cut super deep, like and then
Who knows? Mrs. Q didn't even open hers.
yes.
It's like, screw this.
And then did we get it or no?
No.
We were trying to use a dispel situation on the door. It sort of worked and then failed at the last minute, I think. Right? Is that what happened?
Yeah, we basically did not get out of the front lobby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Elle cast Shape Plant on the area where the door was. I don't know if we figured out whether that worked or not.
So that is exactly where we ended last time,
Mm-hmm.
with Elle casting Shape Plant, and the Tree of Elderheart, where everything is built into, started to respond and open to the point where she did see a glint of the metal handle on the other side. But Aurora, with her see invisibility still active, and the only one to notice so far, the vaulted ceiling of this room, on the wall where the door once was, you did see a glint, a light of something that is stationary near the ceiling. So we are talking about like 35, 40 feet up in this vaulted ceiling. The that just started to burn brighter and brighter as Elle was trying to cast her spell. And the hole that Elle had managed to open with Shape Plant was starting to close once more, as it was a battle of wills between Elle and whatever is keeping the door hidden from you.
Mm.
But I did send out the owl bear. I was about to say owl house.
Oh yeah. we're on watch through number 2.
Watch through number 2 of Owl House. But I did send out the owl bear link, which is exactly where you left off last time, back in the main foyer of the House of Zogma.
Mm.
Excuse me, sorry. Just to reorient as a reminder, you came from the library area here. There is a door here that Aurora did clairvoyance through, seeing that it was empty, a long table, some toppled chairs.
It looked like a dining room is what I think.
Correct, very much a dining room. There was a staircase up to the upper floor here where you noticed a series of what looked like tapestries, paintings. You're not quite sure, you haven't gone yet. And a kind of tuck around here in this corner is what you can see so far. Elle by the door, trying to push through with your spell being fought by something that you don't understand, Elle. The wood is starting to close back and around you as you have been trying to keep it open to see the door. We're going to pick up right there. What would you guys like to do?
Would Mrs. Q have hang on, we all in the same room, right? Yes. Mrs. Q would probably, sorry, I'm having issues with my thing. It's okay. I'll just start this. Would probably try to cast the same spell to like double spell with Elle's spell to see if two are better than one.
Okay. So as Mrs. Q walks over and joins you, Elle, your hand's starting to shake a little bit, trying to put more power behind this shape plant. Kind of the same as Elle, Mrs. Q. You see your spells start to work, and the wood of Alderheart starting to pull apart, where you can see like the center strip of the French doors that you walked through to get into this home. But just as you feel you can reach through and grab onto the door itself, you feel the resistance of the spell starting to close. You're trying to push against it. And Aurora, that light that you see 35 feet above them, basically right center with where the door was, is fighting them even more. It's burning brighter and brighter and brighter with your sea invisibility. Which I don't think you have too much time left on.
No. Guys, something's up there, and it's trying to stop what you're doing. Like, if you're not winning, I don't think you're going to.
Can we check out upstairs then?
He was more referring to like top of the door, like the light he's seeing.
Oh, on top. I'm sorry. Where is this light?
Your shape plants isn't working. Whatever the doorway you're working, this house or whoever wrote that letter is stopping us from leaving. I think their magic's too powerful for us to break through.
What should we do then? Turn into the group.
Do the stairs look damaged? Like, do they look walkable? Like, I'm looking at the picture right now and I see them busted up and broken. Like, if I look at them in the room, do I feel like I can climb them? Like, get up top?
Yes, so they are worse for wear, is definitely what you can tell. However, it does look like there is almost a well-trod path that kind of makes its way up the stairs that you could follow. They are walkable.
Yeah, I'll follow the steps up, just climbing it carefully.
So as you move up Apoc,
Guys, I'm gonna
Um,
go check out what's up here. Let me know if the door stops being weird. You okay?
Yeah, sorry, I picked a hang now.
Oh, do you
I
want
hate
to?
when
Do you want me to
that
grab
happens.
that, dude? Okay.
No, we're about to do your thing. It's okay. Um, so as you make your way up, as Mrs. Q and L are just trying to decide whether they're going to continue with the door or not.
Apoc. I put my hand on your shoulder. Be careful as I cast guidance.
Oh, you're right. I should be a little careful. Jeremy, let's give this a shot. Um, let's try the first image.
Can I specify that I gave Jeremy the guidance and not Apoc?
You just have all the all the buddies with you now.
You guys just see like Jeremy and all of the little companions of his, the 3 million little fleas that surround him, just kind of take shape around Apoc's head and form like a pinwheel, like a helicopter top similar to the hat that he had picked up, as well as two little bars that Apoc grabs onto, and you just see the fleas start to lift Apoc up the ground and slowly fly him 10 feet per 6 seconds up these stairs.
10 feet per 6 seconds. Oh my god.
It's 10 feet a turn.
Okay, we might have to come back to you if you're gonna take like
It's a
30
slow
seconds to get up these
it's a
stairs.
slow climb.
Okay.
But I was doing it carefully.
I love every minute of that.
Guys, it's working.
Okay.
I see that.
So as these 30 seconds elapse, you make it up the stairs. And what you notice as you enter the stairs, these are all columns. So from the ground, you were able to kind of see through, and that's when you notice the tapestries along this wall here.
Mm.
As you do come up the stairs, you notice a staircase on the far end. This seems to be almost like the best way I want to describe it is like a gallery wall.
Okay.
You see 3 pieces of art, and now that you are this close, they are once more what you identify as Peppermint's work.
Holy Pip. There's some paintings.
The first piece that you see, the first painting, you see a massive, iridescent, almost waterfall. But instead of the waterfall kind of falling down the way we would think of gravity pulling, it looks like it's almost geyser-esque, where it seems to be falling upwards with steam dispersing or the mist dispersing into the clouds itself. There is a sheen of silver to all of the whites and grays. It's very light, very airy as you look at the first image. The second painting, as you take a closer look, the colors are somehow both vibrant and muted as you look at it, and almost seem to kind of wave the way that a fish would swim. If you think of the way scales on a fish look when they're swimming in the sunlight. And what you see is very much an image of trees that are the right color, a clearing that is the right color to this world. But it's almost been blotted out, and you see very tiny little fish-like creatures that seem to take over the images in pastel colors. The third image is very jarring next to the other two that are much lighter. You see onyx black, very, very jarred and jagged landscapes. You see cliffs that are shadowed in bigger cliffs off in the distance. You see shadows that seem to grow even more deep, even though the painting is mostly black.
Does it look scorched?
It doesn't look scorched,
Okay.
but it looks like, well, it reminds you very much of the hilt of Basil's new dagger in a shiny, like gleaming onyx. And you see what looks almost like a very very rail thin, almost like a stretched piece of cord bridge that seems to span across this chasm with a large, like shadowed gateway on the other side.
Do you mind just going over the first painting again?
The first painting was very wispy, very light. It looked like an upside down waterfall with water kind of pouring into the sky of this image. It was kind of overlaid with what looked like a silver, like a metallic silver sheen to all of the paints. And when you looked at it, it almost looked like the water was moving and dispersing. The water itself, instead of being a blue, was more of a white, more of a white with silvery blue accents moving through it instead of a blue.
The onyx black one, can I approach that?
Yeah.
Could I stick my hand onto it? Like, is it solid?
So as you stick your hand out to it, you do hit canvas.
Okay.
And
Yeah. Really?
you know.
Okay.
You do see. You do see. And Aurora, if you're watching, Basil, I'll let you pick which one you're watching, whether it's Mrs. Q and Elle or whether it's Apoc. But you see, as your hand makes contact, the painting flashes and ripples. And nothing.
Flashes?
It's almost like, this is going to sound bad, but you know the Mario game where you jump through the painting to go and collect the stars?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like as you touch it.
Yeah.
So the painting itself seems to ripple. It's
Yeah.
almost like it becomes more real for an instant, a split second.
Huh.
But if I push my hand into it, it stays
Remains
there solid.
Interesting.
What do you see up there? What are you thinking?
There's something. I need somebody who's good with magic. There's something going on with these paintings. If you touch it, it flashbangs you.
What?
Basil?
Yeah.
Basil, you're the magic guy. Get up there.
I can't go into it, but I mean it looks cool. Have you ever seen cliffs like this before?
You the magic guy?
No, I'm not.
Like you're not the magic
I'm not
guy.
the magic.
Ella's gonna grumble to Mrs. Q. I was touching all the paintings. Why when Apoc touches one does he something? Like she's just getting whiny.
There was one painting.
Mrs. Q like taps Elle on the shoulder like consolingly. It's all right, it's all right. Why don't we go up and look at these paintings? And at least, I mean, Mrs. Q is going to try and go upstairs.
When I have a quick question, when Mrs. Q tried to help Elle with the door, what were we successful at kind of keeping it open, or was it still? Pardon me, was it still fighting?
No, and I did want to jump back to you to finish that part up. So as you were trying to push through, you both felt the resistance. That the hole was just closing and closing in on you. Trying to fight it off. Elle, you didn't necessarily get help from Mrs. Q, so much as Mrs. Q's spell initially started to work the same way yours did, before being overtaken by whatever is holding this in place. But it hasn't, it is closing. It wasn't closed yet.
Is it big enough? Was the hole big enough for a thing to get through? Like a living thing? Like one of us?
So it got to about like what is this, like 18 inches? 24 inches? It got to like 18 inches big is what it got to before you felt the resistance start to push. So a hand could have gone through. There was the door on the other side, however. You did see the door, the wood and the hardware of the door. It's not like you opened up onto the street.
Okay. I'm trying to think if would Mrs. Q or maybe Elle would have tried to open the door even if we could only get a hand through. I don't know.
I think Elle would say like if I let go, I don't think this thing is gonna stay. And this might be our one shot if we want to try opening the door this way. She didn't mean to rhyme. It just seemed to happen.
So Elle would try and open the door.
I don't know. The way I envision Elle is that she's using both her hands to try and like shape shape the wood. So I imagine her using both her hands already. She could try. Yeah, Elle's gonna try just trying to hold the spell, but try to see if she can reach the doorknob through this hole she's made.
Okay. I will say with the rate that it is closing, because it is fighting you a lot. You get like one action to try and do this. So as you reach through L to go and try and open the door, you're able to grab the handle. It's physical, it's there. You go to push, and you hit resistance from the lock on the door itself.
Okay.
And you remember quite vividly that it was not locked when you came.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think Apoc did burst through it initially.
Yeah, Apoc kicked his way in. Okay.
Magic.
Elle wants to take just a moment to kind of just like whisper to the wood, like, please don't move. Can you just stay open? Like she's really worried that she will not be able to do this again, or if she lets go, it's going to go right back to how it was.
As you are whispering, you are losing this fight. I want to make that very clear. You are losing this fight here. You did have one opportunity, one action to try and open the door, but at the end of that action, your opportunity is closed. The wood itself re-establishes.
Nuts. All right, she's a little pissed off now. She's getting grumpy. Like, okay, Miss Q, should we go see what they're doing? Because I don't think we're gonna get out this way.
Hey guys, come touch paintings. The girls are playing with wood. Aurora, you're one of the guys now.
Oh God!
Uh-huh.
It's a new adult novel, guys.
Uh-huh.
Mrs. Q's gonna make
Trying to help.
yeah. And you said the stairs look a bit rickety, right?
They look a bit rickety, but there's almost like a path of shinier wood where it looks like it's been well traveled. So you can easily
I
make
run
it
up
up
them.
these stairs.
Run up the stairs.
Before heading up, you had mentioned that there's like this, I don't know, little.
Yep, a little hallway around the corner.
Can Sir Basil just take a peek, take a look?
Yep. So as you go to kind of peek around the corner, and you were here a couple hours ago doing a thorough sweep, this leads down. There's a door at the end of this hallway right here.
Ooh.
And you know that this leads to a stairwell down to the basement.
Okay. Okay, cool. Clocking that, but he'll stick with the group. He's learned his lesson.
Have we?
Yeah.
Probably not, but
That's good.
All right.
Maitland follows me. Just there you go.
Is Maitland still invisible? Or we see Maitland
You see Maitland.
24/7 now?
Yeah, Maitland's never been invisible. He's blurry.
Oh, okay.
You are all able to see the three paintings. The upside down waterfall, the little fishies, and the dark black onyx.
I touch it again. Can everybody see it? Back.
You go to bap it again?
Yeah, back.
Yeah, as you go to bap it again, that same kind of ripple, although it seems almost, the second time you're seeing it, it seems almost a bit diminished. The second time.
Mrs. Q, can she Arcana check this thing?
Yeah,
Elle wants to do an Arcana as well.
Sure, both of you can go ahead and make me an Arcana check. Or one of you with advantage.
while you guys are doing that, Sir Basil's just gonna like say out loud, just shaking his head, kind of like, Pip, what have you gotten yourself into? just to kind of play into the story.
16 for me.
I rolled a 16 plus 4 for 20. Dirty 20.
Yes.
So as you kind of look over this thing, it doesn't work textile wise, like
Composition.
components wise, like it is a canvas, it's a frame, you can feel it, you can feel the ridges of the paint as you take a look at it. Mrs. Q and L, what you both get is that it appears that this has been enchanted in some way, this particular painting. Even looking at the other paintings in this little gallery wall, this one appears to have had an enchantment done to it.
This is the fishy one.
This is the dark onyx one.
This is painting number 3.
An Arcana check. Yeah, I'll say this as well. With an Arcana check, both of you would recognize what the painting is. And it looks to be an image, a popular image that is associated with the realm of the Shadowfell, which is the realm of the Amaranthine of Death. L with a 20. What you also notice, other than that this has been enchanted, is that this, although this has been enchanted, it almost appears like the enchantment was not complete.
Oh.
It didn't finish.
Hey Basil,
Mm.
what did you mean by Pip? What did you get yourself into? Like, is this something she used to do, or like, what do you know about Pip that? I don't know. Curious. What did you mean by that?
These paintings, each of these, it's definitely her work. Yeah, why would Pip's paintings be here in the House of Zogma? I can't imagine what trouble she's gotten herself into, or even why she'd be involved in any of this.
Did Zogma have anything on your family?
After that day I left, I thought Zogma would be long and gone. I can't imagine anyone in my family would want anything to do with Zogma.
I'm curious. This really is.
We take it?
The painting?
This bad boy is big. We're talking like bigger than the planet painting.
Yeah, but Baldur's Gate 3 rules. How much does it weigh?
Yeah.
Great question.
I'll let you take it with you if you want. you could take out just the canvas instead of the frame if you wanted.
Oh man. But like,
No, you could if you want.
I
Do
mean,
it.
I don't want to wreck the painting. Like, it's. You said it's enchanted with something. What if we break the enchantment? Could something bad happen? We release the Shadowfell?
Would we know whether that would happen?
Your rolls were high enough. I will also give you, particularly with the 20 from Elle, I will also give you, not only did the enchantment, was it incomplete, but it was, it would be, sorry, let me just check one quick thing here.
Is Pip a planeswalker?
Okay.
Sir Basil
It
would just say, oh, sorry, you're asking that to like Sir Basil, or
Yeah.
Sir Basil would just say like he left so long ago. He doesn't remember. He remembers Pip being just like this innocent German. If only Cam were here, he would know more.
The enchantment that you read on the painting is conjuration based.
You guys this is kind of, I guess, out of character, but is everybody thinking these are different planes? Every painting is a different plane or realm?
I mean, well, only this one is enchanted, right? The
We
other
don't
two.
know.
I'm pretty sure the one that we saw in the other town had magic, because I'm pretty sure Elle did detect magic on it. Just she's feeling more curious now, kind of seeing like conjuration. She wants to take out one of her crayons and go up and draw a little figure of a bat on the painting. See if anything happens.
So as you go and you draw a little figure of a bat on the painting, once again, like it's bare canvas, so you do feel your crayon work its way onto the paint that Pip has used. As you do, the bat seems to stay on the painting itself. But you do almost notice that it seems to kind of darken a little bit. And as you watch, it kind of gives a little like flutter, and the bat just sort of melts off of the painting itself.
What?
Cool.
So it ripples when we touch it, but it goes hard once you like apply pressure to it. I'm wondering if like I'm gonna reach into my like little pouch, my Coco Chalene,
I forgot about
Coco
that.
Chalene clutch, and I'm gonna pull out one of my lodestones and just throw a lodestone at the painting, see if it goes through.
Yeah. So you toss a lodestone at the painting. Same as before, you do see it ripple, but this effect is starting to get more and more diminished. So the ripples are not as strong every time you touch this painting.
Got my stone, put it back in my clutch, clasp it up.
Maybe we grab these on the way out, but if these are like
The little balls.
Yeah, you got the little, they snap. Yeah.
these paintings are like unfinished portals to other realms, then it could be interesting.
Apoc, do you think they let things come out of them if they don't let things go into them?
You're the magic person.
I
I'm a
couldn't tell
thinker.
that.
I'm an idea person. Oh,
You had mentioned before that the third painting had like onyx coloring.
So that's the painting you're working at right now. This is the one that's been rippling as you touch it. And it looks very much like there is a jagged cliff in the foreground, a like deep black in the background. And the way I'm describing it onyx wise is if you take a piece of onyx and you shear it, it's smooth, except for the edges that are very jagged and can basically cut you. And it also has some striations going through it. And it is a jet black stone.
I look around. What kind of light?
So that is what you see. That's the.
What kind of light is in this hallway?
It's those. Would you have seen them? No, Basil. I guess the lights are more familiar to you. There is a sconce. Where are we here? There is a sconce that is holding a torch on these two pillars. So this guy here, and one at the end of the hall to illuminate the stairs. But instead of there being fire in each of these sconces, there is just a little ball of like condensed light, giving off a sort of, it's a glow, but it's casting some shadows.
What happens if I stand in front of the light to like block it and cast a shadow over the dark painting?
You can maneuver yourself to stand in front and block out the light to this painting. Nothing seems to change on the painting itself.
and if you touch the other two, it's the same flash of light.
If you go and touch the other two, This just feels like canvas. There is no ripple to these ones.
Okay.
I guess I should also mention, just with your two high arcana checks, especially Elle with a 20 and touching the painting, what you would also notice with the painting itself is that there does seem to be another simple enchantment that is more built to keep the integrity of the painting. Like, it won't be weathered, it can't be marred. Basically, you're putting it behind UV proof glass as bare canvas, essentially.
What do you guys think? I'm out of ideas.
Unless we want to actually like take the painting with us, I propose we keep searching the place. Maybe go up.
Because we still need to burn the history, right?
Well, we technically burned what we thought was all the books.
Yeah, but maybe it's not. Right?
Do the like peek behind the painting to see if there's like a save.
Go ahead and make a perception check. Or investigation.
Okay, do I need to pick one or can I do all three? Like, this is literally just, I want to see what's behind it and if there's
Let me know when you're
Trying
checking
to
behind
escape.
the waterfall one.
They're
Yeah.
trying to escape from Shawshank.
So you take a peek behind each.
yeah.
Just it's wood. It's a wall.
It was a nat one for the
With a nat
people
one.
at home.
It's just a wall.
I didn't think I would need to roll for that, but here we are.
Cool.
Right,
Okay.
nothing possibly behind the paintings. Can I?
I don't know, guys. I don't see anything.
Can I spray the first one with water for my water skin?
The upside down waterfall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you go ahead and spray the first one with your water skin, and the water hits the canvas. There's no rippling or anything. It hits the canvas. You see it kind of slowly start to drop, and then sort of the same way that Elle's batch was removed from the other one. You see the water kind of speed up, coalesce, and then drip off to leave the painting unmarred.
There's magic here. There's magic at foot. A foot? I think it's a foot.
So I guess
I like at foot. I think that's right.
they're all enchanted with a similar spell that keeps it.
Yeah, a protection spell.
Mhm.
So we have a onyx cliff, a fishy trees and clearing, and an upside down waterfall.
Yeah. Don't forget too. There was another painting in
Yeah,
the
what was
library.
the down? What was the painting?
It was just like a forest scene, I think.
Yeah.
So the one in the painting the one in the library was a forest scene. However, the trees instead of green were like shades of purple. The sky was a pink. They were like very vivid colors. And I think someone, I can't remember who, was able to identify it as a scene from the Feywild. I think that was Elle, actually.
Ooh, Feywild, Shadowfell.
That's why I was thinking there's different realms. There's got to be an underwater one.
The waterfall. Reverse waterfall.
Well, there is
There
one.
was-
It was like
Clearing with the fishy.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
trees in a clearing with fishies.
And there is one with like octopus or kraken or some kind of water at that other shop.
The other shop at Naughty's shop where you first met Aurora, actually, it was a pool in the middle, a reflective pool that had almost like clouds of purple and blues, surrounded by trees of deep green, with I think it was almost like a depiction of smoke or fire along the edges.
Wasn't like also in that painting there was like a small depiction of Basil in it?
So the signature that you notice in the bottom right corner of each of these paintings, which is also why you know that the waterfall painting is not upside down, There is a sword that has been painted in simple white paint on the bottom corner, with two rings interlocked around each other.
Is the sword vertical?
The sword is like hilt up, blade down.
And where are the rings?
The rings are kind of overlapped right in the middle. They appear to be like just very simple rings,
Just
very
like
bands,
one
simple
stacked
bands.
on top of each other.
No, it's kind of like I'm gonna try and do it with my fingers. It's kind of like looped,
Yeah.
not like a chain, but looped decoratively.
Okay. Horizontally looped or vertically looped?
So if the sword is like this,
Yeah.
with the blade down,
Okay.
the rings are about in the middle. They're horizontal, but they're kicked off on an axis.
Okay. That's cool.
Interesting.
Is this some kind of puzzle?
I don't know, but we should make note of. Hey, if you want to cut the paintings so we can keep them, just say it and we'll do it.
That is not what I was thinking at all. I was just asking if you think it's a puzzle. I'm having flashbacks to the YMCA of
Okay.
days of yore.
Oh, that was yours, the YMCA, the puzzle.
The wives. Oh yeah.
I'm just wondering if it's like like this is supposed to give us some kind of information, or are we
Like this.
barking up the wrong tree?
I mean, somehow the paintings are probably all connected. Because this is now the 5th painting we've seen.
Mhm.
So,
Hmm.
what's the group want to do?
Did we check out that?
Go take a look at the dining room. Maybe there'll be more hints in there.
That's what I'm wondering.
Can I slide down the banister?
Yeah, you absolutely can. Just make an acrobatics check. Let's see how good you are
All
at
right,
it.
first roll with a new die. Let's go.
Nice.
See it acrobatics?
Yes.
12.
12. It's a little harder than you thought it'd be in a toga, because you are still wearing the sheet.
Oh yeah.
But you make it down safely.
Hmm.
It's just people down the stairs.
We're going back. We're checking out the
I
other
want
room.
to check out the other room. Yeah.
Okay. Can I just like peek my head up looking upstairs? I don't want to go upstairs, but I want to see if I can I
Yeah.
hear or see anything?
Yeah, so you go ahead and you peek your head up the stairs, and this staircase going up is a like spiral staircase. It's a spiral staircase, but not straight up. It's kind of like a spiral, like it takes a
Okay.
turn, if that makes sense.
Were you peeking up the stairs or were you peeking down to where Mrs. Q and Aurora? Oh,
Like up this stairwell here, right?
Yeah.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Sir Basil will be very interested to want to go upstairs as well.
14 plus. Perception is good. That's an 18.
18.
Have we been here for an hour?
Yes, you have been
Okay.
here for an hour. Aurora, your see invisibility is over.
And pass without a trace is over too.
Okay, so you take a look up the stairway. You don't see anything. You're kind of just looking around. It does look dark as you go up. You do see the stairwell curve. You're not sure how much farther up it goes, but it doesn't look like there's no lights lining the
Okay.
stairway up. Doesn't look like there's any lights that you can see coming from the top. The one thing you do notice about this stairwell is it is pristine. There are no broken steps. There are no missing steps. It looks like the wood has been freshly polished.
Hmm.
Can't hear anything either.
You keep an ear out. You do hear an odd break or two.
Okay.
You're just not unsure if the house is settling, if there's someone up there.
All right. We'll go back down with the group. Bazzy B, you coming?
Oops, a daisy.
Are you going off alone?
Yes,
No,
Elle and Basil. What are we doing?
So Basil will stay with the group. He wants to go up the
Oh.
stairs, but he'll stay with
I
the
know,
group.
I do too.
We'll just pop in here real quick, and then we'll go right upstairs.
Elle's gonna kind of stand and look at the picture still, and she can see the signature on all of the paintings, the sword and the.
Yes. The two rings.
Hmm.
What are you thinking?
Basil, should we take a part of this with us?
What part?
I was gonna take out her dagger and go up to the onyx painting and like point at the signature.
Let's do it.
So I was gonna try to cut the signature off of the painting.
Okay.
Like take the whole corner if she can.
Brave child.
Okay, so as you go to cut off the signature, as your dagger is working its way along the frame where the canvas meets the frame, you are able to make the cut. But as soon as you try and advance onto the painting itself, it's almost like the painting, kind of like if your dagger sort of whiffs off a piece of metal. Your dagger will not cut through this painting. Along the edge, along the frame, you are able to make the cut through the canvas, but on the painting itself.
So if she follows around part of the edge, will it start to furl in on itself, or will it stay like unfurled?
Yeah, so as you because the signature is in the corner, so as you make that L initially in the corner, you do see the painting comes loose from the frame. That corner does come loose. You guess you could cut this painting out if you stayed close to the edge.
So I was gonna kind of look at Baz and be like, so we could take this. I'm not tall enough to get all the way up there because I'm assuming these are big.
Yeah, so they are hanging like the middle of this wall, but it's like 3 feet up off the ground. How tall? Yeah, 3 feet up off the ground, and the painting itself is like another 3.5 feet tall by 3.5 feet wide, kind of thing.
So Basil's like, well, I assume with teamwork we could cut the thing.
Yes, you can cut the thing. I'm not gonna.
We'll be like, here, let me help you.
Yeah, the two smallest people.
Yeah.
So obviously Elle stands on Basil's shoulders.
Yeah, so easy enough to cut this painting out. Which painting was it?
Yeah.
I think it was the onyx, the Shadowfelly one.
Okay.
Nice.
So you take the Shadowfell with you.
Roll
Roll it up.
I want to roll it up and like keep it on my back, the way that Littlefoot rolled up his tree star. So I
Nice.
take it with him. I'm sorry, Andrea. I realize now you understand that reference.
The tree star.
That's okay. If everybody else gets the reference, then this is a normal occurrence in my daily life.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
All right. So you now have Pip's painting of the Shadowfell with you.
Okay, I'm gonna carry. I think I'm gonna carry it with me. Or do you want it, Basil?
No, you can carry it.
What was that company I always went to the universities that sold posters?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Elle's got, it's not Justin.
Jeez.
Elle's got her like bag from there.
Bag of posters. Okay. All right. So as Elle and Basil finish up for roll up the poster, and Elle throws it onto her back, The rest of you that have made your way downstairs and are at the door of the dining room area. Elle and Basil, I'm assuming you will join in at some point, but correct me if I'm wrong and you want to go anywhere else. You are standing at the door, and this door is closed. It is not open the way the library was. Who's brave enough to open it?
Mrs. Q casts, which is the one that opens doors when I don't touch it. It is.
You want Survivor just to kick it over?
No, I want to be able to use my cool skill.
The thaumaturgy?
I think that's the one.
Okay.
I use that on the door to see if it opens.
Okay. So you go ahead and you use thaumaturgy on the door. You do hear the door click, and as you are standing right in front, it like bursts out towards you, kind of booping you in the nose a
Oh
little
no,
bit.
it opens
It opens out.
Whoops.
Just for comedic relief. And you see, I just want to do that. Okay. So as the door opens up, you see you see a grandiose room, vaulted ceilings once more, a stone fireplace on the opposite side of the room that does not have any fire going. You see a large table in the middle of the room, very dining room-esque. It looks to be kind of carved out of the tree itself, very similar to other furniture that you've seen here in Humblewood, the desks, the chairs that you're familiar with. You do see the chairs, these very large, almost comically large for this room, are kind of strewn haphazardly. They are high-backed dining chairs that look to have been upholstered, but the upholstery has been ripped and torn to let out some of the stuffing. You do see what looks like a brown rug that appears to be in front of the fireplace on the opposite side of the room. The columns that you can see in this room here. Oh, I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, okay. The 4 columns lining the room and the walls of this room itself is actually, instead of it just looking like the rings of the tree of Alderheart, you see almost like a scrolling pattern, like a mural is the word I'm trying to say, but looking like it's almost been etched. Like an artist has come and chiseled out part of this tree to make it look like a swirled forest scene with a setting sun. A depiction, a scrolling depiction of the big tree, the grand tree of Alderheart, looking out over Humblewood. This is a very well decorated room. As you also all enter the room, you notice the temperature drop by a good 5 degrees in here.
It's a ghost room.
Pardon me?
For ghost orbs.
See.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. It drops to the point where you actually feel it in your fingertips. You kind of feel it on your nose, on your chin, on your face. But that's what you see in this room.
Is there anything in the fireplace?
So as you, sorry, my notes are in like 4 different areas here. Okay. Okay, so from where you are at the door, you don't see anything in the fireplace that shouldn't be there. You do see off to the side, there's like a little, it's not even a rack, it's built into the stone of this fireplace. You do see like 3 hooks for the fireplace tools, like the poker, the brush, the shovel. You do see a grate in the fireplace to hold wood. And you do see a couple logs of wood that look to be like old. Like the last time they were burned, they did burn, but they haven't been burned in a while, is what you see from that side of the room that you're on. You can't quite make out any details. It is darker in here. So you can't quite make out super fine details from where you are at the door.
So it's very dark. There's no of the lit sconces or anything.
There are no lit sconces. You do see sconces on the wall. So on either side of the door, there's basically two on each wall, flanking the fireplace, but none of them are lit. There is a torch that is empty.
Okay. Mrs. Q is going to try and use her druidcraft to set the hearth
Ooh.
aflame.
To set the hearth on fire? Okay. I think that's easy enough with the druidcraft. I don't think there's anything to it.
Yeah, I can instantaneously light or snuff out a candle, torch, or small campfire.
Okay. So yeah, easy enough to do from where you are, 30 feet. Yeah, easy. Easy enough to do from where you are. You go ahead, and it takes like a couple tries with your druidcraft. But on like the second time, almost like you saw some kindling in there that you didn't see before. The fireplace kind of bursts with a warm fire, giving an eerie glow now as you have one source of light casting some shadow. The etches, the divots, the art on this wall, because it has been etched. So there is like a canyon almost of where the like a filigree on a ring is what I'm trying to say here. So you see shadows kind of making a beautiful portrait look a little more sinister in this case. I do need everyone to make a perception check for me though.
Nice. Nat 1.
Oh, nat 2.
Oh God. 15.
That's an 18 for me.
21.
Guys, I got smoke in my eye. Oh.
Don't blow it in mine.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. All right, so who rolled a 15 or higher? 1, 2, 3. Okay. These two lovebirds are too busy staring at one another.
Whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Sorry. You have smoke in your eye and some soot from the fireplace that when the fireplace ignited, it did fill this room a bit.
God, Aurora, I know you want to be a cool girl, but cool girls don't smoke.
The three of you notice that as the fireplace lights, the rug on the other side of the room, the brown rug, expands and grows and starts to kind of creep up and over the table as it does so, and the temperature drops once more. You start to be able to see your breath as you breathe.
Is it like creeping
it's like-
towards us?
So the rug on the other side was small when it started, and as the fire lit, it expanded in pretty much every direction over the table, creeping towards you.
Oh.
And you do see as it is almost constantly starting to move its way, like a wave moving towards you.
Uh-oh.
So Basil will yell out to the group, everyone out of the room.
Fuck that. Poison spray at it. Elle is not fucking with this house.
Okay, go ahead and roll. Do I roll? Do you roll?
I don't know. I've never cast this before. Extend your hand toward a creature you can see within range. Is it within 10 feet of me?
Very much so, and creeping closer. It's creeping like you're at 7 feet away, kind of thing.
Yeah, so the creature has to roll a con save throw. 13.
Oh, good God. I did not give this thing stats. Will you confirm?
What? It's too far away.
Is this dice?
Oh, she rolled a nat 20.
Oh,
Fuck!
But okay,
Then
so
I-
here's the thing.
Then I
Hold on
don't
a
think
second.
anything happens.
Oh, hold on a second. It's not a. It's not really a creature. So I'm gonna say like the roll just shouldn't have counted. It shouldn't have been done. It's not really a creature, so I'm gonna say it hits. It instantly hits. So whatever the acid is, go for it.
It's 1d12 poison damage. Is this a d12?
Sorry, poison.
It is. 7.
Should've looked this
7
up.
poison damage, I think.
Okay, so what I'm gonna say with this is as this patch of brown carpet is expanding towards you over the table and expanding Eric's face, expanding along the floor around the table. Elle shooting poison spray at it. Where the poison hits, you see it burn away a little bit of it. So instead of it creeping up to like the 7 feet from you, 6 feet mark, the part that you burned away pushes it back to a 10-foot space around you. I'm gonna say it's. Gotta zoom in now. So right around here is where you would have seen it kind of creeping towards you. So you're able to keep it at bay, but where you burned away part of the advancing thing, you do see more just take its place as the
Carpet.
heat from the fire burning and burning on the other side of the room has made it expand.
Can I take a look at this carpet and try and figure out if it's like a fiber or organic or like a mold of some type?
Yeah.
How close do you get to said carpet to do that check?
Oh, I could use my keen fox eyes, Vulpin eyes.
Okay, is that an actual thing, or you're just staying where you are to try to figure it out?
Okay, so let's be fair. Aurora wouldn't know, so she's just trying to figure out what this thing is.
Okay, so make a. I'm gonna say nature or arcana.
That would be a 21 to Arcana.
21 to arcana. You haven't seen this before, but from what you have read, heard other people talk about in your father's guild,
Snuff out the fire! Snuff out the fire!
you identify this as brown mold. And with the 21, you know that heat equals bad times if you're stuck in a room with this thing.
Do you actually yell?
Snuff out the fire!
Okay, Mrs. Q snuffs out the fire.
Okay. As this thing was crawling towards you, so it's now hit the edge of the what the hell is this thing called? Table. And it's kind of started to curve almost in this line around here. Mrs. Q snuffing out the fire on the other side of the room. And the room instantly turns frigid once more as the fire is snuffed out. You see the advancement of this brown mold become slower. However, with all of you clustered near the door, giving off body heat, and it being close enough to see it or sense it, you do see it be continuing to creep slower, but continuing to creep towards you.
I think we should get out of this room.
Is it creeping as we have 30 seconds to look at the walls and see what the paintings are and, just look and see what else is in the room before closing the door
I can
behind us?
kite it.
I can guide it. You can certainly push your luck to see what you can see before whatever consequences come your way. It is not creeping as fast. There is about 8 feet from you at this point and creeping slowly towards you. But it has taken up quite a bit of the room. So as I said, it is kind of looping around here, looping around here. Basically, the table has become engulfed.
Oof.
What do you want to do?
Sir Basil seeing this thing just still moving forward. It's like taking over the room. It's just gonna come forward. He's not necessarily gonna attack it, but as he like kind of walks past Mrs. Q, he'll take out his greatsword and he'll say the words skadoosh. And you just see like frost emanate from his blade. And like if you felt cold in this room, you feel like really cold now. And there's just like this frost aura emanating out 10 feet from where he is, from his sword.
Ooh, so it can't detect our body heat anymore?
It's making it cold.
Oh.
Like he's just not necessarily attack this what was it called?
Brown mold.
Brown mold, but essentially kind of hold his sword out. Almost so he's kind of like kind of like defend it back.
Okay, so how close do you get to the brown mold?
Well, so I have a 10-foot radius of cold or frost.
I get behind Basil. Oh,
Okay.
oh, valiant Basil.
So
I got the
as you you guys can just leave. As you hold out your sword, with the frosty aura radiating from it, as the mold, any mold that was within that radius, so I believe you would get some of the mold on the table and around the entrance here.
Mhm.
You see it instantly shrivel and crumble away.
Mhm.
So the space on the table is now open. And as it is still slowly advancing, anything that comes within that 10-foot radius begins to shrivel and crumble, shrivel and crumble, shrivel and crumble. And you do notice that the advancement becomes slower and slower as the room grows colder and colder.
Should I push in or should we just leave?
What? All I wanted to see is if there are similar paintings on the walls, which presumably I could at least see if they're there or not from the door.
Would
Can-
they just keep seeing that?
So I will say with that, when you did light the fire and take a quick look around the room before getting distracted by the brown mold, there were no hanging paintings in this room. The artwork in the room was on the walls itself, where it looked like an artist had carved right into the wood itself.
Okay. Okay.
Am I able to, with a stoppered vial, collect some of the brown mold?
Some of the withered brown mold or the active brown mold?
Active brown mold before it gets destroyed by Basil altogether.
Okay. You can certainly try. Okay, so
Hey, be careful.
I will.
Okay.
Thanks.
As you go to try and collect some of the active brown mold, how are you going about this, Aurora? As in, are you staying within Basil's range and sticking an arm out? Are you just going to try and do it quickly? How are you going to go about this?
I think what I would do is keeping like close by where it's really, really cold. I'm not too bothered by the cold because I'm an Arctic fox after all, or an Arctic vulpine. I am going to try and just go beyond that to get where I can get some like fresh specimen with a vial. And I'd like to use, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm
Okay.
not going to, I'm going to have Maitland do it for me.
Okay.
Okay, so as Maitland, you give the command to Maitland. He looks at you with his big hollow skull eyes, takes the vial from you, and goes to collect some of this
Mhm.
brown mold.
Because he's a skeleton, he shouldn't have any body heat.
Exactly. Good thing.
Got me there.
This is gonna go real south real fast.
Um,
There's friction in between the armor, so I don't know.
yeah. What is Maitland considered? Is he a creature?
Small creature.
Small creature? Okay. So as he moves outside of Basil's protective aura,
I guess
and
creature.
sorry?
Nothing.
Okay. And as he moves within 5 feet of the mold, I need a con save from Maitland.
Ooh, let's check out Maitland's.
Oh, if this thing attacks Maitland, Elle has something at the ready.
I'm gonna use my inspiration and roll that out again. That's an 11.
An 11
Yeah.
just fails.
Okay.
Okay, so as Maitland goes, you all see as he gets close to this brown mold, you see frost basically like instantly appear on the bones, on the joints, on the clothing of this blurred Maitland. And I'm assuming he takes damage, Eric?
Oh,
Okay.
Does he have hit points?
If he can take damage,
he can.
he takes 19 cold damage.
Okay.
As you see the joints like stiffen up a little bit. But he is able to, after
No.
to execute the command, he would be able to stop her some and bring it to you.
Well, if he was still alive.
Oh, what?
I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Andrea asked me because she needed 4d10s.
So,
Actually,
Oh, you have no d10s?
so maybe we should leave this room.
Yep.
If
But
Elle had saw something happen to Maitland, she might have tried to like, I don't know, fucking gust him away from the brown mold. She would have done something.
So-
I don't know if it would be in enough time to not take 19 cold damage, but
You know what?
Do we need Maitland?
I am going to say, Elle, you were not holding an action. So
Yeah.
there would be nothing that you can do in this way, because as soon as he stood within 5 feet of this thing, the environment took its toll.
Yep, and I'm gonna run in and grab all the stuff that he dropped.
You're going to run in as well?
Yeah. I'm
Well, I
gonna,
assume
Since he
Basil-
dropped within 5 feet.
yeah, I'm gonna go get the stuff.
Yeah, I assume Sir Basil would be still with a sword, like using it to kind of fend this thing back.
Aurora, do you wait?
I think I'd be smart enough to wait. It's like, okay, Basil, can you clear out an area so I can grab his stuff?
Here you go.
Easy enough to do. But you did not get any brown mold in the vial.
Are you just grabbing his stuff? You're not grabbing Maitland?
Well, he's a pile of bones now, so I'm gonna grab his pile of bones along with all of the magic items that I geared him up with, which was pretty significant. And then I'm gonna try and grab the mole myself.
You're gonna try and grab the mold yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so in order to do that, you do have to, in some way, leave Basil's protective aura.
Yeah.
So if you're going to leave Basil's protective aura, the moment your hand, your body comes within 5 feet, I need a con save. I just need to know how you're doing this, because it's going to change.
I'm just gonna scoop up a bag and then stopper it, and then try and like clean off my hands with prestidigitation of anything that's like dirty in my fur afterwards.
Okay, all right. So as you go, you take your vial, your hand leaves. What's your con save?
19.
19? Okay. Since it was just your hand, it's not going to be full damage since the actual rest of you is protected in this case. So you are going to take 8 points of cold.
Okay.
You are able to scoop, stopper the brown mold, shake it off of you very quickly.
Shake it up.
Shake it off. And as you pull that vial back in, it's not a thermos, it's not a cold resistant vial. I don't think, unless it is. But as soon as it gets pulled into the cool of Basil's aura, you see the brown mold shrivel inside the vial.
Okay.
Hmm.
As it is not temperature controlled.
Science, yo.
What do you guys think? Is it worth it?
I mean,
No.
Can it eat through glass?
How much is left of this thing? If say I pushed in to where, I don't know, wherever Maitland was.
So that would have taken place, I would say, like about here, I would say. So, I mean, you're basically carving it out in some way, but as it's being carved out on one side, you see it kind of shift so that this side is becoming a bit more of the localized area.
Oh, I see,
But
I see.
slow. It's a slow growing thing at this point. It's barely growing.
I mean, I am not an expert on mold, but could not the mold be revived from dried mold? Like, is it dormant or is it dead? You know?
You saw it basically like insta freeze and shrivel. You can
Hmm.
make whatever assumptions you want from that. You
Oh, if it freezes instantly, the cells are more intact.
are you're not familiar with this, but you could roll a nature check, Mrs. Q.
Okay, I'll take that.
I was not expecting you guys to stay in the room when the door was still open, I
Okay.
gotta say.
So Andrea, out of character, I wanna say my first ever D&D session for the Out of the Abyss campaign that I ran, the first encounter that I had was brown mold.
Oh, really?
And the group, I was like all excited because I'm like new DM. Like the group, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be great. They're not gonna know what hit them. And they're just like, yeah, we're gonna just walk. We'll just walk by it and then continue on our way. I was like,
They didn't even look at it. You need this crew.
so
We're still naked and afraid at that point, were we?
you're still
Years ago.
naked. You're
Yeah.
still naked and afraid at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, nature check, Mrs. Q.
30-20.
Dirty 20. You get the sense from what you inherently know and from how this thing burned up. Like it burned up and just shriveled to dust. Like it's powder. There likely is no reviving it at this point.
Okay, I just wanted to, because last time I went away, I like dried out my sourdough starter and then revived it from dried stuff. So I was like, maybe it's possible.
And
Oh.
it's not like sourdough starter, unfortunately.
Now I know.
Yes.
So Basil,
Good ask though.
so Basil will probably just say, best to leave this room
Yep, let's go.
and just like slowly back up until everyone's out, and then maybe he just
Aurora.
I'm gonna do one
Aurora,
more.
what'd you do?
I'm gonna do one more attempt while Basil leaves. And
Do you have mage hand?
no, and I stay out of.
Do you want a mage hand?
No, I'm committed to the bit. I'm going to
Jeremy.
I'm going to mix a drink.
Okay.
I'm gonna mix my Morosa mocha, which is basically like an iced mocha,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm gonna use that to protect the stoppered vial, which I'm gonna try again collecting and dropping into the iced mocha, which is magical and it provides fire resistance to anything around it. So hopefully I can insulate a vial and then stopper it all up. using my portable
Okay.
brewery kit.
Okay.
Goddamn,
I'm
want
so
this
excited
brown
to
mold.
see whatever you do with this brown mold, because this is a lot of effort. Okay, so once more, if you're gonna stick your hand out in order to do this, I need a con save.
15.
15? Okay, yeah. So because it's just your hand, so it's gonna have damage of this. So this is going to be another 8 points of damage.
Okay.
Cold damage.
Man.
Worth it.
But with the way you have jigged up your vial, you're able to stopper it, twist it into a thermos, and I will say, yes, you are able to contain a small vial of brown mold.
Okay.
You see it kind of slowly crawling up the wall, sort of situation.
Cool. Cool.
Everybody out! And you just slams the door.
Yep.
You,
All right.
you done?
For now,
Finally done with
I'll go
this?
get my own D10s for the next
Yeah.
room.
So Basil put his sword away back into its sheath, and then the cold was just like be gone.
Love it.
Is it possible to grab Maitland's bones on the way out? Elle is not happy that he just suddenly died in front of her.
Yeah, I would have collected those.
Yeah, so Aurora took the time to collect everything. There is no part of Maitland that was left.
Okay.
Man, that was like 200 gold worth of mocha.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm more upset about the undead sibling dying or wasting a perfectly good coffee.
Yeah. Coffee's rare in this world.
I'm interested to see what you're gonna do with this. So as you all leave the room, let's take a 5-minute break to just get up and stretch for a little bit, and then come back. Only because we started late, we'll try and come back within 5 minutes to start up again.
Oh, good.
Before you guys run off.
We're gonna try and dive back into the story. I don't know where I was going with that sense, but we made it to an end. Okay, so you have all just left the dining room after spending far more time than I anticipated in this dining room. What are we doing now?
We need to figure out how to get the doors open, which means we need to figure out how to like do the task, right?
Well, I believe that we've completed the task, but we were told that they're not ready for us yet. They're buying time, like biding time.
Oh, okay, you're right. They did say that.
Who told you that, Basil?
His head really hard.
A voice in my head. I believe it was well, what I told you guys that I thought it was Eddie.
I don't even know why you're here. I don't think we've had any discussion about that.
You have a fair point.
No one's asked.
Basil, what were you doing here?
I was getting closure.
How's that going?
Well, you can see how it's going, Mrs. Q.
Mrs. Q wouldn't have said that. That was Georgina.
And Sir Basil will say that, and I'm ashamed that I've dragged you all into this. This is my mess because of my pride or my anger. I brought myself here and have now brought all you into my mess. I don't know who it is that has brought us in and trapped us in this house, but they're a son of Zogma. And for whatever reason, he's biding his time. He's toying with us.
Then maybe we do need to see if we can get further up and climb out onto the roof or something. And escape that way.
Yeah.
Smart
I grew up
thinking,
in a
Mrs.
house.
Q.
I know it pretty well, but there's something mysterious with this version of the house that we're in now.
Something afoot
Afoot.
or at foot. There is something.
I would like to investigate more.
Upstairs.
Yes.
Cool.
It's pretty clean up there. No mold.
Woo!
Okay.
Can we head up to the stairs?
All right. So as you go ahead, and yeah, you are able to go ahead and up the spiral staircase, the off-kiltered spiral staircase. Again, just stop me if anybody wants to do anything as we're moving.
As
through
we
this
walk
house.
by, I want to cut another one of the paintings out with the knife.
Okay. So yeah, same thing.
I look over at Elle, but I'm doing it.
Same thing as you go to try and cut the painting out. Anytime you sneak a little closer to the painting itself, it doesn't let you. Which one do you cut out? Elle took the Shadowfell. There is the little fish painting and the upside down waterfall.
Upside down waterfall.
Okay, so you are easy enough, slowing the group down a couple minutes, but able to take the upside down waterfall painting with you.
Started out as a gag, but we got a painting out of it.
I don't know what you guys can see and what I can't.
We can't see anything except the first two steps.
Okay,
of
let me.
Just look up here.
Oh, I see another block up here.
Oh my, there's so many blocks.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, that's cool.
Holy
Yeah.
smokes.
Put different settings in the same thing now. I really, really like it.
Hmm.
Also, I'm going to toot my own horn. I did these maps myself.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Ooh.
nice.
Cool.
Okay, so as you make your way up the stairs, you come to another long hallway, this like regal patterned carpet underneath you. You come to more of a closed kind of setting, where there is a wall on this side. So it is kind of just a long hallway. You do see a broken, rickety set of stairs on the end over here. You do kind of see something very similar to the dining room, where there is almost like a mural that has been kind of carved into the wood here. But instead of it being any type of picture or depiction, it is more like swirls. Very Van Gogh-esque. It's like Starry Night-esque if you think of those kinds of swirls. That's what's been carved or etched into these walls. And you do see that the hallway curves around this corner, and you do start to see a soft light, similar to the light that those little glowing orbs would give off down the hall. If you do proceed, just so I can let you do what you want and get over with the narration, you will see a set of doors at the far end of the hall, set of doors on the right, and 2 sets of doors on the left. That's what those little opening things.
Okay, gotcha.
And there's also maybe you said this and I missed it, a set of stairs directly in front of us.
Yes, so if we're to follow along this hallway, this is a set of stairs that once more leads up and curves out of sight.
But these ones are broken. We couldn't climb them?
So it does look like the first few steps are broken. It doesn't look as well maintained in those first few steps, but still climbable. It looks like the rest of the stairwell is climbable as far as you can see before it disappears around the curve.
Okay.
Shall we investigate one of the rooms?
Yes. So
I guess based on your photo, does this mean that the room doors are open? Like we could technically see in?
So let me see my descriptions here. I think, let me just confirm, but I believe they're all closed. It's just that was the easiest way for me to show you where the doors are.
Cool.
Okay, Basil,
but-
you take the lead since this is your house.
Would I know in general, like, oh, this room used to be something, this room used to be something?
So you are not familiar with this floor of the house. When you were living here, you did not go past the main floor and the basement.
But even before when I was like searching the house?
When you were searching the house initially, this floor appeared to be bedrooms that were in disarray. Again, there was no markings, no inkling whatsoever of who lived here, what they did, who they were, what they valued. There was no identifiers. If anything, it was a tossed bed with a bed sheet or something like that in these rooms. But this you would know is to be bedrooms.
Basil will say that to the group that this should be the sleeping quarters. Although and the place looks obviously like way different from when I was in there, right? Like
first time you walked through here, there was like a door panel into the hallway, everything else off kilter, one of them hanging by a single hinge, no lights, carpet ripped. This looks lived in.
okay. So Basil, we'll say something like that. It's like this floor should be the sleeping quarters, but something is amiss. There's something at work here. Everyone be on your guard. And I would like to probably open this door, I guess.
Does anybody feel like this house is for very, very, very large people? Like giants, maybe?
Big chairs.
Like chairs, like 20-foot chairs.
Colvums with the Zogma Colvum family.
But
Very
they're that big?
So the Corvum that you came face to face with was not. You do know that there were chairs in the library that were normal sized. It does almost seem, and from your knowledge, you did recognize those high-backed, grossly, obscenely big thrones in the dining room. That was a show of wealth in the Zogma.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Like the table, although it was big, was not any higher than a normal table kind of thing. It was.
Okay. I'm just looking at these doors. The doors even look massive.
So these are all double doors. They are
Yeah.
double French doors that open out.
It's because
Might not be to scale. We're just rolling with
Okay.
it.
because Basil's tiny.
Maybe what will happen is Basil will open up this door so that like it doesn't block the group from seeing him and seeing inside. Because if he opens up the other door, then
Yeah.
he's gonna put toward you to block you.
Wow, good thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you go ahead and open that door, so as you go ahead and you try and open that door, it's locked.
Okay. Is there like a keyhole or something like that, or
Yeah, so there is a keyhole. You
sure?
you go ahead and try and peer through, and as you do, it looks pitch black, like cannot see anything. Doesn't matter if you have dark vision in this case, it is pitch black. Now it is locked in the way that French doors are locked, so there is quite a bit of give because there's a seam in the middle. It's not like it's attached to the floor or anything like that, so you're able to kind of shove it, but it's not like it's swinging open nicely.
You want to try your unlocking thing?
No, that only works on doors that are unlocked. It doesn't unlock doors. It just opens doors when I'm too lazy to open them myself.
Basil, this is the perfect kind of door to kick in.
Bust it open. Let's go.
Yeah. You wanna throw your shoulder into it with me? Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Okay. With the two of you, it doesn't even need to make any of the rolls because there's two of you doing this. Go ahead and just make me an athletics check and we'll see if you get a 1.
No, that's double digits.
So what would it be?
Athletics is my forte.
Okay.
I think it's
Can I roll to see who did more of the work?
Sure, make a perception check.
15.
16.
5.
Oh. They're real strong. They both look real strong right now. So as you both go ahead and easy enough, the lock gives as you easily just burst through the doors into this room. I need wisdom saving throws from both of you, please.
Okay.
While Basil and Apoc are opening the doors, Elle can like clock that Aurora is watching them and like whispers to Mrs. Q like, okay, so what's going on? And like tries to ask about like some of the interactions between Aurora and Apoc in the house to see if Mrs. Q gives her any insight as to what is happening here.
I think Mrs. Q would just say, gosh, what would she say?
Oh gosh.
I don't know why, but I just thought that sound. When a man was a woman. Oh.
You don't know why? You don't know why that popped into your head?
That's the immediate song I thought of. Yeah.
I think Mrs. Q would just say, I've noticed something too. But I think we should probably let's see how it goes, let things play out. The heart wants what it wants. And we should try not to meddle. Either way, they're both our friends.
Amazing.
I'm gonna pull out her book and start drawing something while everybody's kind of she's over being in this house by this point.
It's been like an hour.
But it's also like past midnight now, and I'm 12.
We're gonna start some con saves soon. Okay, Basil, what did you roll? Because I sure know what Apoc rolled.
13.
13. As you both throw yourself into this door and your feet go to touch ground, well, what you expect to be ground, you fall.
No!
Are falling. You are falling. You are falling. You're falling faster. You
look,
and
Jeremy,
Apoc are beside each other.
Jeremy. Keep me up.
You feel in your stomach the lifting, the roller coaster sensation. You feel the world go black
Oh,
around you. You cannot see anybody but Apoc.
Can I see Jeremy? Bonus action, I want to use my flying.
Okay.
I'm falling. I don't want to fall.
Okay, yeah, you go ahead. The rest of you, you see the two beefy boys burst through the room, feet touch the ground, and they start screaming, wailing on the floor of this room, yelling bloody murder. Basil and Apoc, you are falling. You are falling. You reach out to Jeremy. What do you say?
Activate. Iron Man suit. Come pick me up. Version Mach 2. Mach 2, Jeremy. Lift me up.
As Jeremy goes to respond to your command and buzzes around you and starts to fly, you feel like you are flying. You're flying slowly, 10 feet, right? You got a round or two. 10 feet, you're slowly flying. You see Apoc as he's thrashing around on the ground. Jeremy just attaching to Iron Man, you said?
Yeah, like
what does that look like? What do they see?
Well, they see just Apoc laying on the floor, I guess, with the fleas covering him head to toe. Well, they would still be doing their job. They could still lift him up. So
Yeah.
they would see Apoc just like on the ground levitating.
At 10 feet around.
10 feet around, just a
But thrashing, screaming. Basil, you see Apoc start to slow down and lift up, and you are falling.
Yeah.
You're still falling. You're still falling, Basil.
I imagine him like maybe he tries to use his billowing cloak almost like as a parachute and just like just like see if he can just like slow his descent down.
You see Basil's billowing cloak start to billow out behind him as he's screaming, trying to contain himself. You are still falling. Your cloak kind of whipping over your head now. You can barely see as you're falling. What are you guys doing?
Ladies, should we check the next room?
Yeah, they seem like they're fine.
How close are they to the threshold?
They are like 2 steps in.
Okay, so could I like reach in and just drag them back over the threshold?
You can certainly try. I'm going to get you to make an attack roll to see if you, because they're falling, right? They're falling.
How long have you been watching?
We're
The
going to do
whole-
the loose initiative.
Okay.
So like you guys have your turn, the ladies will have their turn. Like that's how we're going to kind of do this.
At
So
this
Apoc
point,
is-
it has a very nice, fully drawn graphic of us just thrashing on the floor.
He's levitating a little bit, like he's slowly going up to about the 10-foot mark. Basil is thrashing on the floor. Mrs. Q, make a
That's a 4.
4. Who are you aiming? I don't think it hits either of them. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. I turn back to everyone else and like, guys, they've clearly stepped into some kind of enchantment or something that's making them think that something's wrong when it's not. So we just need to get them out of this room.
I got something that could do it.
If you help one, I'll help the other.
Okay. So I grab my staff, and I point it towards Apoc, and I cast Misty Retreat. So he Misty steps to me instead of me Misty stepping.
Ooh.
Cool.
So Apoc covered in fleas. As your descent is being slowed, you're Iron Manning. It's good. All of the sudden, as Basil is still falling beneath you, you are yanked. You are kind of pulled, and Basil is gone from your vision. You're alone. You're
Basil.
alone. You're falling. You're
Basil.
still falling.
Jeremy? Where'd you go?
Like Jeremy is still kind of helping slow your descent,
I'm
but
still falling.
you still feel like you're
So
falling.
it's not the room now. There's something in the room that triggered it, but there's still.
So you have Apoc floating like almost 10 feet in front of you
Basil!
still.
Basil, where'd you go?
Basil, Apoc is gone, bro.
Sweet. So is it like in my mind, there's just this endless pit?
Basil is fully convinced he has fallen into an endless pit.
Okay.
There is, in your mind about it, you are convinced you are falling. Nothing else is real. This is real.
Do I see the walls of the pit? Or is it just like, this is emptiness?
It is black emptiness for as far as you can see.
Oh, jeez.
And Elle, if you want to do anything, you can jump in.
Yeah,
'Cause-
Elle's gonna cast Thorn Whip and attempt to like grab Basil and pull him back over out of the room.
Ah!
Go ahead and make
This might hurt, but
go ahead and make an attack roll at Basil.
okay. That's an 11 to hit.
Basil, does that hit you?
No.
Damn.
Thorn whip goes wide as you try and whip.
I'm literally just like on the floor, like, okay, well, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but you're moving a lot, and my
That-
aim, I guess, isn't good.
That is fair though. You'd be like on the floor thrashing. Technically, that's prone. Is that advantage?
If it's a ranged
If it's a
attack,
ranged
it's
attack?
disadvantage.
I'm only like 2 feet away from the door, right?
Yeah, like I'm pretty close, but
Plays out. It's
Again.
kind of a choice.
Let me see. You're technically prone. So what does prone? Okay. Creature has disadvantage on attack rolls and attack rolls. Yeah, okay. So yeah. Technically yeah, so a ranged attack would be a disadvantage against a prone creature. You already didn't hit, so there's no need to roll again.
Elle would try again though if she missed, because it is just a cantrip, so I could do this all day.
Okay.
Thorn Whip range or melee?
I think it's melee 10 feet.
Just yeah. Might be melee.
Let me know, Steph. If it's melee, you get advantage on it. If it's
Oh, where would it say? I have 30 feet.
hold on. Let me see.
A melee spell attack.
Oh, so it is melee. Okay. So you would get advantage on it then. To try and hit Basil.
Okay.
At this point, just for some flavor, I feel like because there's literally nothing I can do to not fall. So Basil's probably just like heavy breathing, realizing like this is it. And he's gonna just like himself, almost as if his cloak is just like hugging him. And he's just gonna be yelling out like all the people in his life, I'm sorry, I wasn't stronger, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry I couldn't protect you. And he's just yelling at the top of his lungs, like thinking this is it, this is his last moment.
Aw.
He needs to say everything and just get it out.
I love that. What'd you roll there, Steph?
My second whip definitely hits. I got a 16 plus spell attack, so 21 to hit.
So
Yeah.
roll your damage.
Oh no.
And then we're gonna do whatever you want to do, love.
Only two damage. 2 piercing damage.
Basil, as you are accepting the void and welcoming the darkness as a friend, you feel the sting of something across your cheek and you wake up on the floor right at Elle's feet, staring up at the ceiling of this room that you were just in, seeing a bed, a normal room, the darkness gone, the falling gone, as you've been snapped out of it.
Ooh.
He immediately stood up and he's just like, what was that? What was that?
You see Apoc covered in fleas, still flailing in the middle of the air in front of Aurora.
Yeah, so I want to, because I'm slowly falling still, but like slowed down by Jeremy. I want to pull out my bow and take a shot downward to see how far low this is. how far I'm going to be falling, whether or not a minute of Jeremy holding me up is going to be good enough. So I'm gonna check out my board log. Just a shot down.
You're gonna do a shot straight down.
I think that's only a 9.
I have a quick question.
Oh,
So
no.
if Apoc is lying on his back and grabs a bow and thinks he's shooting down, is he actually shooting up at us?
That's correct.
It's a 12.
All right.
That
It's a 12. Okay. I
But-
mean, you think you're shooting down, you'd technically be like.
But Jeremy is actually levitating. I don't know how this works.
So the way it's working is that you still feel like you're falling, but you're
Yeah.
falling slowly.
Yeah.
So in your reality is that Jeremy is helping you fall slowly.
Yeah.
In what all of your friends see, especially Aurora, as you're right in front, is Apoc is still like he's not laying anymore. He's almost upright as Jeremy's been trying to adjust him. But he's still kind of kicked back like a recliner, and he is sort of looking every single which way. You see Apoc take out his bow, aim it for a split second at you before aiming for the floor once more, I think is how that plays out.
All right.
You shoot your arrow. Aurora, you see it like right into the ground, like at your feet.
Good, because the 12 hits.
Yep. But your arrow, and it's gone. And it's going, and it's going, and it's gone. It is gone.
Basil, where are you?
I assume because I'm sensitive, I can hear him yelling my name on the floor.
So you're awake now, Basil. You are back in the same reality as your friends. You see Apoc do this.
Okay.
And-
So I in real life, I'm hearing him going Basil, like, but just like on the floor.
Correct. Yeah.
Can I go realizing what happened to me? Just like shake my head, go over, and I just slap Apoc in the face. Wake up!
Make an attack roll.
What would that be if it's just like I guess it's
Just-
just
You're unarmed, so add your strength. Is it strength and whatever, or strength and change?
that's only a 9.
Strength and proficiency. Sorry, it's your strength and proficiency.
What's that?
Your strength is +2, your proficiency is +3. So you added it right.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
a 9.
It's a 9.
yeah. Try
I mean-
slap that.
It's a 9. You go to slap, and Apoc is thrashing, and you miss.
They're gonna hold still. Can I go
Maybe-
again?
Maybe Elle can use the thorny whip on him.
Yeah, she's just gonna fucking thorn whip him.
Okay, do it again.
So 13 plus, so 18 to hit.
Yeah, so roll your damage, Elle. Actually,
Ooh,
probably
6.
points of damage, Apoc, as
Wow.
you starting to panic, feel it slash across you. And you are levitating off the ground in front of Aurora. Your reality comes back to what everybody else, to seeing all of your friends levitating with Jeremy, who's like hovering just in front of your face with concern.
I cast Counter Charm. I waited till the damage came in before.
What does that do?
Counter
I-
charm?
Yeah, it gives you advantage on saving throws against weird effects. But I'm gonna wait until the moment where Elle hits you, and
So does that negate? I'm sorry. Does that negate the damage?
no,
Okay.
Just hug Aurora.
He would be awake, and then he sees Elle hit him.
I don't know if I know what hit me.
Well, you pulled 10 feet closer to me, and I think I'm pretty close, so I think I just pull you and you knock over like me and Basil in the process.
Gotcha. I just hug out like, oh my god, you saved me.
You're okay. You're okay.
Why am I so bloody?
Why
I guess
are
I
you?
need those too.
Well,
Six rats.
6?
No, that's what just happened.
Oh, okay.
Basil will kind of get up and try and help you guys up as well.
I understand. Okay, sorry. Okay. So as you are, oh no, I move you.
It shrinkated.
As you are all kind of taking a beat, the doors are now wide open, helping each other up. You do see just a normal bedroom, little light kind of coming in from the hallway itself. No indication of any pit or anything that just happened from this angle. What do you guys do?
From where we're standing, can we see anything that would be of interest or note?
Okay. So from where you are standing, so Basil and Aurora, who's standing at the door, whoever else wants to stand at the door as well. So you see from your angle, you see the table, the bookshelves, the bed, everything looks quite neat, quite organized, quite tidy. However, one thing you do notice about this room, and there's no need to make a perception roll, is it is something very obvious about its environment. You see that the walls of this bedroom, the like posts on the bed, part of the bookshelf, and definitely across the table and across the floor, you see scorch marks, like fire scorch marks across this place.
Interesting.
You see like a few burned pieces of paper that sort of litter the floor, that litter the table. Some it just looks like the edges are burned. Others it looks like they are totally burned down to ash. Some you can tell from this angle have some form of writing on them, but you cannot make out what it is in the dim light coming into this room. Yeah, so that's what you see coming into this room from the doorway.
Interesting. Okay.
So from maybe I would need to do a check for this, but would we presume that if any one of us steps into this room that we will also potentially succumb to the illusion?
So it is a little hard to tell. Basil, the one thing I will say, you looked through the keyhole and saw nothing but blackness. Now you can see everything quite clearly. That's your only before and after that you can understand. You can give it a try, but you're unsure at this point. It just looks like a bedroom.
Okay. So with my counter charm, it gives us advantage on basically any saving throws against frightened or being charmed.
Ooh.
So, and that applies to all of us for the next action, but I can keep doing it until you guys want to move in.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, I got to make a performance, so I'm going to get down and basically with my crystal ball and start telling you it's all okay. It's all okay.
Do we want to explore this room?
If you want, go ahead, Miss Kim.
Elle's gonna see the paper and walk in and try to pick up the scraps of paper.
Okay. As you walk in, you cross the thresholds. No problem. You go around and you start to pick up the scraps of paper. I'm going to get you to go ahead and make me a perception check. Elle. You do see the pages kind of scattered around, one under the bed, couple over here, couple in this corner kind of thing.
I got a 14.
You got a 14. Okay.
Yeah.
So as you are going through picking up the papers, some of them look like scribbles. You can see a like stick figure that's been drawn, that's been scribbled over. You see some where it's a little difficult to make out what they were intending to draw as the fire has kind of engulfed it a little bit more. But you do find 2 pages that are in a less burned state, where you can make out on one page a like crayon drawing of the outside of this house.
Oh.
And on the other page, you see a little bit better than stick figures, but still not great. Very something that a young kid would have drawn
Hmm.
in crayon. And you do see a like, I guess how did you do a stick figure of a bird? But you do see like
Like an M.
a large you do see a like larger, like what you would assume to be an adult, female adult. You see 2 smaller figures that are the same size. You see a smaller figure. You see a smaller figure. And right in the corner that's almost been burned off, you see like the top half of a smallest figure. But they around the edges, it has been singed. Like you don't really know where the setting is. There's been like a green grass kind of scribbled underneath, like the sun in the corner. That's what you would find with that.
Interesting.
Elle is gonna tuck those into her book with her drawings.
Anything else?
Anyone else want to do in this room?
Do we want to look in the chest?
Room. Pardon me?
Mrs. Q. You know what? I don't know if Mrs. Q actually would. Georgina is curious, but Mrs. Q doesn't care very much about treasures, so I don't know if she would open the chest. Nah, she probably wouldn't.
What does Mrs. Q do?
She's curious what books are on the shelf.
So if you go in and you start reading the spines of the books. Now this is a like small bookshelf. Like it is a couple feet off the ground. There's one shelf of these books. You kind of have to hunch a little bit. And you start just taking a quick look. It is not full. Half of the bookshelf is kind of full of trinkets. The other half is full of thin spined, some that look like picture books, books written for children. You see some that are a little more like your early, 10 chapter, 50-page novel for young readers. And you see a few more that are getting closer to the YA, but not really, kind of at that point. They're like 75 pages and 11 chapters kind of thing. But it very much looks like a younger selection of books. It's not like you're finding a textbook here or anything.
I'm curious. Similar to how, like, as a kid, you write your name on the inside of a book. Like, oh, this book belongs to,
Oh yeah.
Andrew. Is there anything like that would say, like, oh, this book belongs to whoever?
I
Yeah.
still do that.
My Harry Potter books, all of them. So whoever's going to do this, go ahead and give me an investigation check. So Basil, if this is you entering the room, go ahead and give me a check.
Investigation is not that great.
And Aurora and Apoc, whatever you would like to do before the end of the session.
Miss, whatever book Basil has in his hand, I take it and I open it just to look at see if it's written in.
Okay, so you're going to assist.
So that means you have advantage?
So
I don't know.
So hold on a second here. Basil, did you roll yet, Basil?
I did not.
Okay,
If
so
you're
looking, If both of you are looking, you can either both roll or one of you roll with advantage.
Okay, I will roll with advantage. Your investigation sucks.
It does.
Ooh, that also sucks. Okay. 6. Ooh,
Oh.
An advantage?
I know. I have a 2 and a 4.
You you are starting to pull them off and take a look. Not in that one. Not in that one. Not in that one. It might take like a hot second to make it through all the books. So in your first, round or two of searching through these books one by one, you don't see anything. You can keep searching and take more time, essentially, because it's not hard to go through all these books, but it will take a little bit more time than just a quick flip through a few books, if that makes sense.
Well, what's everyone else doing while I'm flipping through books?
I know what Sir Basil wants to do, but I'll let everyone speak first.
We'll go with Apoc and Aurora if you guys wanted to do anything in this room. Again, just being cognizant of time here, so we'll do, a final kind of rundown, and then that'll be Apoc and Aurora.
Sorry about your little buddy. Your brother?
Yeah,
You gonna be able to bring him back again?
I don't know.
Think he's still here?
I haven't felt his presence since downstairs.
Maybe I can take a look. I'm good at figuring out if these guys are around. I want to cast my last primeval awareness.
Primeval awareness.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fays, fiends, or undeads within a mile.
So you don't sense anything above undead. Aurora does. Is there a sense of undead? You get nothing.
I was falling back here. Maybe he's just
sorry. 1 second, I gotta check something.
Yeah, that's fine.
okay. Oh,
I don't think so. No, you don't.
I can't feel him right now, but maybe those cards could tell you where he is.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't want to be running a séance in the middle of this house, so I'll wait till we get out.
Good news is there isn't any other undeads.
Is it?
Maybe. My history of them says they're bad.
Well, I guess bad is just a matter of perspective.
Fair.
Maybe they like you more if they got to know you.
Next time I'll ask Maitland? Is it with the D? Maitland?
Yeah.
Yeah. Time I'll ask him.
Okay. Hopefully you get a chance.
Sorry.
Apoc's just gonna lay on the floor, exhausted.
As this soft conversation does come to a close, before we end the session for tonight, I need some Constitution saving throws from all of you. You are pushing into the midnight-ish area.
What's that mean if I have
That is a crit fail.
what's that mean?
Oh, you guys, that's 2 sessions in a row. Roll better.
No. If there's a dot, I don't think that.
Does that mean that
No, it doesn't mean. I think it's the ones that are. Hang on. If there's a dot next to your saving throw, does that mean anything?
It just
So
means it's adding your proficiency, so
Okay.
it should already
Okay.
show that.
Okay. I rolled a 23.
Okay. I know we have a crit fail. Did anybody roll a 9 or lower? So, Mrs. Q, you've had a long night already. You were ready for bed. You were ready to go. You still have that cream on your face.
No, we blew the cream off.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's left on the wall in the hotel.
She's dreaming about her soap.
Yeah.
And now it's midnight, Mrs. Q. You do take a point of exhaustion.
Oh, no.
It's okay.
Dang. I don't know how to do this. Okay. Which means disadvantage on skill checks.
Yes, I believe that's the first level. All right. And as the soft conversation from Aurora and Apoc out in the hall, some investigations going on through the books in this bedroom. This totally scorched bedroom. We are going to end the session there. Until next time.
Oh.
Cool.
Mm.